I think that after making all those how-to videos, you know, adjusting timing and doing this and that and mechanical stuff and so on, I think that it's finally time, you know, to do something a bit more entertaining. And actually today we are going to do something a bit more entertaining, and we are going to take a road trip. And this is actually going to be my first ever road trip in this car. Now we are going to a place, actually to a town called Mostar. And Mostar is about 120 kilometers from where we are right now, which is like 60 miles, and whatever amount of miles equals to 20 kilometers for you guys in the US. So Mostar is actually a really nice place. I've been there a million times, but it's actually a really fun drive there. It's a really scenic route, lots of curves, lots of fun stuff. So that's where we're going. It takes about 2 hours or so, and it's going to be, I hope, really fun. It's actually the first time I'm going somewhere more remote in this car. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, to be honest. So actually, this is also going to be, you know, other than pure entertainment, we're going to make something useful out of this too. We're actually going to get a really good insight into the MPG of this car. So we're going to find out how much fuel does a rebuilt, slightly sporty 4AG engine, how much fuel does it actually need on an open road. Since the last time I drove this car, I was actually able to make some improvements to it. I finally managed to figure out what was robbing most of my power from the engine, and that was actually that my timing belt has skipped a tooth. So I have solved that. I've also finally managed to set the timing properly. I still have the horrible loud exhaust. I did get some bits and pieces of the car actually repainted. I did install a stereo with two brand new speakers, so I can actually listen to music now. See? Yeah, we got music. Although, you know, arguably the 4AG is the best soundtrack you'll ever need. So before we head off, I'm going to make a little stop. I'm going to fill up the gas tank. I'm going to fill it up all the way to the top, and I'm going to get myself some snacks. So, we got snacks, and the gas tank is now full. On the odometer, there's exactly 463 kilometers now. Now we have to remember that number, because the next time we fill up the gas tank, I'm going to calculate exactly how many kilometers we have done and how much liters of gas we have spent during the journey. And that is going to tell us exactly the exact MPG number of my car. I'm actually very curious about that, because, you know, the car is making decent power. It's pretty fast, and it's really fun to drive. But on the other hand, doesn't seem to take much gas. So we'll see. Okay, there's another interesting thing, you know, on our way to our destination, and that there is going to be a bit of a highway to where we need to go. So we're going to drive on a highway. I'm going to experience, you know, how this car behaves and sounds on a highway. I'm honestly expecting it to be horrible. I'm expecting it to be stupidly loud, too much wind noise, too much engine noise, and so on. But I am looking forward to seeing how it behaves in these, you know, higher speeds. being overtaken by a van. That's how sporty I am. So there's another benefit actually to taking the highway route, and that this little highway bit has a really long tunnel in it. So you know what car guys do in tunnels. We're actually going to put the good microphone in. I'm going to pop the sunroof a bit, and we're going to try to capture the best sound of the 4AG screaming in the tunnel. So, conclusions from the highway. Well, to be honest, it was pretty much what I expected. The car is stupidly loud. Even in fifth gear at 100 kilometers per hour, it's still too loud. As I already said the last time I drove this car, this exhaust needs to go. This is some custom-made thing I did in a rush, and to be honest, it's way too loud. Driving on a road like this has actually enabled me to experience the 4AG in its true form, to understand what it is and how it's actually meant to be driven. Now, I've driven quite a few modern 1.6 engines, and to be honest, they aren't nearly as entertaining as a 4AG, you know. There's simply no drama. They're very linear, they accelerate equally throughout the entire rev range. So, you know, it's like, that's it. There's not much about it. They're made, you know, to be economical and easy to drive around town, even if you get it in something, you know, in a slightly sporty car. But the 4AG is an entire different thing, you know. Dual 4,000 RPM, it's, you know, it goes, but there's nothing special about it either. You have to push the throttle really hard to get it going. But once you cross the 4,000 RPM range, it's an entire different. Sorry, I kind of ran out of memory on my SD card back there. I really said some life-changing things, but guess we'll never know. No, what I really wanted to say is that the 4AG is awesome. You know, it urges you, it pushes you to drive it faster, and once you drive it faster, once you push the engine, you can actually feel the engine work, and you know, the harder you drive it, the better it feels, and it's really kind of cool because, you know, it helps you connect with the car, it helps you enjoy driving, and it's actually really, really cool. Here we are in Mostar. Now the part of Mostar that you should definitely see, and the part that I'm going to show you, is the old part of the city. Now if you come in summer, when most people come to Mostar, the city's packed with tourists. But now it's the middle of winter, and I'm going to show you a somewhat different side of the city, when the city is, you know, almost empty, and it's working hard preparing for the summer and for the tourists, reconstructing the streets and so on. Now Mostar is actually a very old city, and there's evidence of human settlements dating back to prehistoric times. But the old city that I'm going to show you has actually started flourishing in the 15th and 16th century, and most of the buildings that you'll be able to see have been actually built during the times when Bosnia and Herzegovina was part of the Ottoman Empire. Now the single most notable and probably most beautiful thing to see in Mostar is the Stari Most, or Old Bridge, which is a truly unique and beautiful bridge built in 1566 by the famous Ottoman architect Sinan. It is a bridge displaying definitely very unique architectural beauty and is actually a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Now, unbelievably, the old bridge was actually destroyed by Croatian paramilitary forces during the war that raged in Bosnia between 1992 and 1995, but was fortunately rebuilt in 2004, and you can again see it today standing in all its glory and beauty. Now, another interesting thing about the old bridge is that people actually jump from the old bridge, as unbelievable that sounds, and being 25 meters tall, that actually takes a lot of courage, and since I actually don't have that much courage, here's some footage of other people jumping from the bridge. Now, that's pretty much it when it comes to Mostar, and all in all, it is definitely a unique and wonderful place that is definitely worth your visit. So, there you have it. That was Mostar. Pretty nice, right? But I think that's enough culture and history for now, and it's time to get back to driving and our screaming 4AG. And where the heck is my key? That was lame. And our screaming 4AG. So right now we're coming up to a piece of road on this journey that I'm really looking forward to. It's actually an uphill part of the drive, and it has 2 lanes, and it's really fun to drive. There's a lot of curves and twists, and it's really enjoyable, especially in a car like this. And if you're lucky, you sometimes run into people, you know, that also drive the road, let's say, enthusiastically, and it's pretty fun, and it's a road that, you know, gives you the opportunity to drive it, you know, pretty fast while still being, you know, pretty much safe. Right now at this moment I'm not 100% happy with my suspension. You know, it's pretty worn. I haven't touched it, to be honest. My brakes are also very worn. I haven't touched them. I spend all my money on the engine, on the transmission. So I won't be driving this part of the road 100%, but I think even 70% is still going to be fun. The part of road is actually called Bradina, or if you want to pretend to be American, it's called Bradina or something. But it's really fun, it's great, and I'm gonna mount the camera differently. I'm gonna mount a different microphone so you can actually hear the engine and look at the road. Okay guys, so that was pretty fun, and I'm sad to say that the road trip is almost over, but it was honestly very fun. It was actually the longest drive ever I made with this car, a car that I put together myself. So I'm just a few kilometers away from my garage, and so I guess it's time for some conclusions. Engine wise, I'm very happy. The engine feels strong, it pulls really hard. The exhaust is definitely number one on the to-do list. I'm getting rid of that. Too loud, I don't like the sound, too intrusive. After about half an hour of driving, it's honestly getting a bit annoying, especially on highways. Other things, what I didn't like, my steering is kind of loose at higher speeds. Not very happy about that. Definitely going on the to-do list. In the near future, I'll probably make a video, a steering rack rebuild or something. Suspension, probably most of the suspension is also going on the to-do list. It's a bit on the firm side, kind of jumpy, also kind of loose. The car doesn't feel, I don't feel confident driving the car quickly at really high speeds. So I guess we have to tackle that before taking on, some even more remote road trip. And don't worry, I haven't forgotten the MPG thing. I actually just filled up the gas tank all the way to the top, and we have done, since we started, we have done exactly 250 kilometers, and what I could fit in the gas tank was 19.42 liters of gas. That means I know there's an equation, we did it in high school. Give me a few minutes. I figured it out. My MR2 actually consumes exactly 7.76 liters of gasoline per 100 kilometers. Now, taking into account that this was very mixed styles of driving, some city driving, some open roads, some idling, I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, taking into account how fast it is, how sporty it is, how entertaining it is, 7 to 8 liters is very nice. Now, I have no idea for you guys in the state exactly how much that is in terms of MPG, so I'll just edit that into the video, and 7.76 liters is exactly this much MPG. Yeah, I'll put my finger there. That looks good. Easy to put a number there. So this much MPG. Again, as you can see, not that bad. So that's pretty much it. Some useful info, some fun. So thanks for staying tuned. Thanks for watching. As usual, don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more. If you have suggestions, ideas, anything in between, hit me up in the comments section. What do you want to see me do next? Yeah, tell me that too. So that's it. See ya. but so what was highway white? So that was Mostar. Pretty neat, right? So that was Mostar. So that was Mostar. Pretty nice, right? But I think so that was Mostar. Pretty cool, right? But I think that's enough culture and history for now, and it's time to get back to driving, exhaust sound, and